Hi and Assalamualaikum. We are from RIS IT Resources Junior System Analyst Team C1. Would like to present report of preliminary investigation on Mr. DIY customer and supplier maintenance system. Whereas the investigation was a result of a system request from Mr. DIY. My name is Nurul Safiah Binti Salehudin, metric number 272716. So based on our investigation, the problem that Mr. DIY faced on their customer and supplier maintenance system is the system is out of control, where the current file record keeping is prone to human error and easy being destroyed by being burned, dirtied by ink spill, and damaged by termites. So the next problem is the current manual supplier and customer maintenance system is not systematic, wasting resources as it uses a lot of paper and space. And then it also time consuming, where Mr. DIY staff that in charge to manage this system is unable to track the record of supplier and customer list in the shortest time. Not only that, Mr. Dewey also faced difficulties on how to maintain a reliable customer and supplier in their business. It is because the current system did not check the validity of their customer based on their credit status. Therefore, this problem may lead Mr. Dewey to solve to uncreditworthy customer. However, Mr. DIY current system also did not provide database management to capture their supplier performance data in order to maintain the reliable supplier.
Okay, hi, my name is Sharafana Binti Zulkarnain and I will present to you about the fact finding. In order to gather all the information for the new system project development, the fact finding has been conducted. In this stage, the functioning of the system is to be understood by our team members as the junior system analysts to design the proposed system. Various methods have been used and these are known as fact finding techniques. As an analyst, we need to fully understand the current system. We need data about the requirements and demands of the project undertaken. Various kinds of techniques are used such as interviews, documentation review, observation, questionnaires, and also survey and analyzing organization charts. We'll take a look at each of these techniques in detail. The first technique that we use is conducting an interview. This is the most effective approach to gather useful information regarding the needs of the system. As the analyst, we use interview sessions to collect information about the current system from the potential users. Here, we discover the areas of misunderstanding, unrealistic exception, and descriptions of activities and problems along with the resistance to the new proposed system. Our team finds out that the customer and supplier system applied involve many labors and it is hard to key in all the related documents into the computer system. This would cause work overload for the staff. Besides, we also conduct the documentation review and we are concerned with the updated and modified system tools. We got a detailed information of currently working system of the project. Through the information gathered from the document, our team gets a very clear vision of how the system is going to be developed and designed to overcome the problem. The documents such as invoice and customer and suppliers data in the computer are reviewed to get the customers and suppliers information. Next, we also observe how the current system used by Mr. DIY works. It requires a lot of personal attention to every part of the work. During observation period, we analyze how information is generated and how it is communicated from one level to another level. By using this technique, we can verify the system documentation and interviews statements, and we are also able to check whether the procedure really operates as prescribed or not. We study the flow of all documents involved in operating the customer and supplier maintenance applies to the existing system so that we will have the knowledge on the performance of current suppliers, whether they are reliable suppliers or not. Furthermore, we also created questionnaires and survey where we collect data from large groups. We conduct this survey by using Google Form that consists of 15 questions and distribute the link to 30 targeted respondents who are the potential users of Mr. DIY supplier and customer maintenance system. The feedback from the majority of respondents shows that they are not satisfied with the current maintenance system. It shows that most of the respondents are looking forward to the new maintenance system. Last but not least, analyzing the CDIY organization chart. Our team has obtained the company's organizational chart to understand the functions and identify people to conduct an interview session to gather the information. I think that's all from me. Let's move to the next presenter.
Okay, hi everyone. My name is Sze Tao, and now I will continue my part with the new customer and supplier maintenance system. Now I will talk about the project scope. This new system covers the management of customer and supplier maintenance of Mr. DIY Group Malaysia Berhad. The objective of this project is to improve its customer and supplier maintenance system and help Mr. DIY in recording and retrieving information regarding customer and supplier effectively and efficiently. Previously, the recording of customer and supplier details is done manually by the staff, which this will cause difficulty to the clerk to track the customer and supplier information, and then this will lead to a few problems. Besides that, the staff who make the recording sometimes make a mistake by record a wrongly amount and quantity purchased by the customer, and this will cause the company face a loss. Besides that, Mr. DIY also faced the problem that cannot find the supplier record of the company due to unsystematically bookkeeping transaction with the supplier. Thus, by using this system, this new maintenance system is user-friendly as it does not require a special training in using this system. This maintenance system also can help the clerk to list out all the transactions made by the customer and make to supplier. Besides, the clerk can also easily track the customer and supplier information because this system can perform automated credit control function to check the credit status of the customer. When the clerk entering the customer data into the system, and then this can help to ensure that the sales transaction will not able to proceed if the customer has reached its credit limit. Whereas, this system also can reduce the Mr. DIY risk of sales to uncreditworthy customers. Besides that, this system can also automatically analyze past sales performance and compare the forecast from different customers. Now let's talk about the constraint. For this for this project, we have faced three constraints, which is limited time, project risk, and limited resources. At first, limited time. Each task given to the team member in developing this maintenance system have the start and end date. Each task need to be settled within specific period. Therefore, all of the members have a limited time and quick action to settle all the tasks given. Thus, we are unable to check all the data thoroughly and may lead to errors and unfavorable outcomes in the future. Next, project risk. Every project may have its own risks. We are unable to solve all the problems that occur in and listed in Mr. DIY. Other than that, we might lack information or resources and there is only limited time to complete this project. Well, for the limited resources, this project needs a certain amount of hardware and software to make this project work. But those hardware and software are high in terms of cost. Thus, we may be unable to achieve the most desirable system needs. That's all from me. Next, I will pass to my team member.
Thank you, Tan. My name is Tuan Athiya. Now I will explain about benefit of the new system. First of all, the new system can help the organization to increase safety of the system. Mr. DIY can avoid the fraudulent activities made by the employees themselves, especially when dealing with all sorts of documents related to customer and supplier. It will also help to minimize the loss of work time due to the human error. Secondly, the system also can benefit a business by enabling supply of information to decision makers. To ensure practical evaluation, Mr. DIY can measure supply information performance. This will also provide insights into areas for improvement to maximize supply performance. It also tells Mr. DIY how effective the supplier management process is and how it can optimize it further. Thirdly, reduce the workload and minimize mistakes. The system will automatically update the purchase and sold item to relevant account. Thus, staff would not need to perform extra tasks to key in the computer folder that does not tidy up. The risk of misstatement is less likely to occur when the system would synchronize the entry. For the third, this new system can reduce the change to the uncreditable customer. By implementing the new system, company are able to gather the information about the customer information such as credit balance. If the customer had reached the credit balance, the system would not allow any transaction with that customer until that customer had settled its credit balance. For the last, Mr. DIY can choose the right supply based on the product quality, price, reliability, and service. Whereas it helps Mr. DIY easily evaluate the performance of the supplier as their organizational requirement. This new system can help Mr. DIY identify their potential supplier by build up a short list of possible suppliers based on their past performance. Therefore, Mr. DIY can keep on track on the suppliers record in order to make sure that the company have reliable suppliers only. That's all from me. Now I will pass to the next presenter. Thank you.
Thank you, Athiya. So my name is Ooi Wei Kean. So I will explain about the time and cost estimation for this project. Next slide, please. So the table below show the cost estimation for the whole project. So it contains project fees, system analysis salary, consulting costs, training costs for the employees in the Mr. DIY, hardware, which is the server that will place in quarter of the Mr. DIY. Next is software, the software that will be installed in the computer of Mr. DIY. The license, for example, the trademark and copyright. And the last one is maintenance fees. So the total of the cost is around 110,200. So next. There's 5 phases in this project. For the first one is planning phase, which we have done it in this process. So the next one we will move on to the analysis phase, and the third is system design phase. The fourth is implementation phase, and the last one is maintenance phase. Next. This Gantt chart is show that all of the phase that will include in our project. So as we can see, the planning phase, we have done it in this week. So we will move to the analysis phase, system design, and the next one is implementation and maintenance. So the whole project will be taken, the time taken for the whole project is around 14 weeks. So that's all from us. Thank you.